Live from the Breaking News and Weather Authority, this is WEAU 13 News at 10.
Tonight, the Chippewa Valley is about to become one of the state's focal points for beating the COVID-19 virus. UW-Eau Claire's Zorn Arena will soon be the site of the state's second mass vaccination clinic. The vaccination site will transition to the federal clinic on April 8th with the ability to vaccinate more than 1,000 people every day. WEAU's Carla Rogner is live on campus to explain how this will expand vaccination opportunities in our community. Carla.
Bob, Zorn Arena has already been doing COVID-19 testing and vaccine distribution, and university staff tell me that these efforts have prepared them to take on a federally supported clinic. FEMA has selected UW-Eau Claire's Zorn Arena to host the state's second mass vaccination clinic.
It's going to allow us to really make a big difference in our community and serve our community.
Grace Cricket, Vice Chancellor of Finance and Administration, says the site was chosen based on the successful testing and vaccination already taking place.
We're going to be able to conduct the clinics in the same fashion, building on the same processes and procedures that we've had in place, but just on a larger scale. We've measured our throughput, in other words, how long it takes to go through the process and how many vaccinations we can give, and so we feel very confident that we can very efficiently ramp up.
Beginning in April, students and faculty from the College of Nursing, along with student health staff, will assist the Eau Claire City County Health Department in distributing the COVID-19 vaccine.
They have been supporting the vaccination clinics and the one today, and it's a great experience for them, and it's a great service to the campus and the community.
Health Department Director Liska Giese says the site will be a useful resource, especially as more people are set to become eligible for the shot.
This is an additional regional site. The site will be available for individuals across the Chippewa Valley and much wider than that to come to a location that is a very large throughput location that can get vaccination done quickly once we have that vaccine supply available.
Giese says about 70% of Wisconsinites will qualify for the vaccine starting Monday. According to the State Department of Health Services, depending on supply, Wisconsin will provide between 3,500 and 7,000 doses of the vaccine to Zorn Arena each week, a critical resource to the Chippewa Valley as efforts ramp up to vaccinate the community and reach herd immunity, something the state health department says could be possible by the end of June. And Zorn Arena will have the capacity and staff to vaccinate more than 1,000 people every day, but Bob, health officials tell me it could take several weeks still until we see that kind of supply.
And Carla, do we know which of the three available vaccines, Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson, will be distributed at the site?
No, we don't know whether people here will receive a single or double dose vaccine. It will depend on the supply at the time.
All right, Carla Rogner reporting live from UW-Eau Claire. Thanks for that report. Well, a controlled burn got out of control in Dunn County, prompting several area fire departments to help put it out. The call went out around 4:15 this afternoon to an area off of 906th Street. That's just off of State Highway 29 near the interchange with Interstate 94. Roughly 60 acres had burned. 8 to 10 different departments responded to the fire, and it was under control in about 45 minutes. No structures were damaged, no evacuations were called, and no injuries reported. With dry conditions, Elk Mound's fire chief tells WEAU it's best to hold off on any burns, adding spring grass is dry even after the snow this week.
Well, yeah, we're talking about some beautiful weather across western Wisconsin today, but as you just heard, we are getting into those conditions. At least we're getting to that time of year when conditions for fires are pretty ripe. And we'll talk more about that in full weather here, but we'll do a quick recap of what we saw today and what you can expect into tomorrow morning. And right now it's 37 degrees with a clear sky, and it certainly is not as windy as it was earlier, just out of the north at 3 miles per hour. And of course, we're looking at that clear sky here on our satellite and radar, which can be backed up by our ground reports, none of which are we seeing clouds in right now. Temperatures are spread out mainly in the 30s, but there are some upper 20s now in our northern counties. Eau Claire today was in the mid-50s, so we've already dropped almost 20 degrees and will continue to drop efficiently with the lighter wind and the clear skies, which is going to leave us tomorrow actually on the chillier end. So make sure that as you're stepping out the door, maybe if it's early on, you have a jacket, but you may not need it in the afternoon, and I'll explain why coming up in your full forecast.
An arrest has been made in connection to a death investigation in Wood County. The Sheriff's Department there says 40-year-old Stephanie M. Trewin was arrested in Marshfield today. This is tied to the death of 32-year-old Zachary Vassa. Human remains were recovered last week in the town of Rock, that is southwest of Marshfield. They were thought to be tied to the search for Vassa, who was last seen at a home in Marshfield in June. The Wood County Sheriff did confirm a wallet was found on the remains with identification for Vassa. Trewin could face charges of mutilating and hiding a corpse. Tonight, Wisconsin's top 2 elected officials hosted the first of 6 virtual live sessions tied to the Badger Bounce Back Plan. Governor Evers and Lieutenant Governor Barnes used this session to focus on economic recovery and opportunity. Evers unveiled his plan during his announcement on the biennial state budget last month. He proposed spending $90 billion over the 2-year budget cycle, and is a proposal funded largely through a $1 billion tax increase.
That's why the topics we cover tonight are so important, from thinking about investing in our farmers and farm families, to helping our small businesses recover, to kickstarting innovation, to tax relief, and supporting our working families. There's a lot of work to do and a long road of recovery ahead of us. But really, this budget is about more than recovering. It's about propelling our state forward and beyond this pandemic.
And the percentage of Wisconsinites fully vaccinated against COVID-19 moves to 13.4, with more than 22,000 people added to the DHS figures today. 16.2% of Eau Claire County's population has finished the vaccination process. Chippewa County is at 15.7%. La Crosse County, 16.8% of community members have completed their vaccinations. Dunn County reaches 10%. The state DHS reports 490 more people tested positive for COVID-19. That's the highest one-day tally in nearly a week. The 7-day positivity average by test remains at 2.2%. 2 more people have died due to COVID-19. Eau Claire County's case count rises by 16. Chippewa County adds 6. La Crosse County reports 8 new cases, while Dunn County logs 2 more COVID cases. Well, prop volleyball action was in our area tonight. Highlights from Eau Claire North and Memorial later in Sports Scene 13.
Today marks 1 year since the first COVID case was found in La Crosse County. A look back at the last 12 months.
You're watching WEAU 13 News with Bob Gallagher, Danielle Wagner, meteorologist Darren Meyer, and sports with Justice Cleveland. This is WEAU 13 News at 10.